I want to start this video by saying thank you for clicking on something that isn't about upcoming top 1s. I can only rant about Abyss of Darkness 2 and other XN upcoming top 1s or like Riot's Demise or something before I go completely insane, which is exactly what happened because I'm defending Geometrical Dominator. I would also like to say, if you hate this level, that's fine. Your opinion is valid. That makes sense. I can understand why you would hate the memory part, or any other part in this level. You can have your own opinion, that's fine. That being said, please hear me out. I feel like I might have something that might change your mind. Maybe, hopefully, probably not, whatever. By the way, if all you want to watch is upcoming top 1 stuff, don't worry, I have another cookie cutter upcoming top 1s video coming up soon. So first off, starting with the gameplay. I think Geometrical Dominator does a pretty good job of slowly introducing different 2.0 mechanics. The move triggers aren't too intense until, well, this part, but that's just some minor memorization that really isn't that hard. It's literally like 5 move triggers. Is it sort of annoying? Yeah, but it's not that bad. Most of the level is pretty annoying to learn, but once you learn it, it's really not that bad. Starting with the first part, it's just some pretty simple stuff, a couple of triggers, whatever. The game also first introduces the robot game mode, which is pretty simply added. You could probably do most of the jumps here just with the cube game mode. The ship part is a little more difficult, but honestly it's not too bad once you get used to it. That being said, I do play on a high refresh rate now, so maybe that's just me being me. Like I said before, this little memorization part is a little annoying, but it's not too bad to get used to. I personally think this fast robot part isn't that hard. I honestly think it's probably one of the best parts of the level. It's like upbeat and chill at the same time. Oh yeah, and then this ship part exists, and this UFO part exists. So in general, it's not too bad, but this next part is probably the reason why you even clicked on this video. The memorization part. See, I completely understand if you absolutely despise this part. It is the worst thing to learn when you're first getting into the game, and it's pretty far into the level, so if your hardest isn't like anything harder than Deadlocked, then you're probably kind of screwed every time you play the level. But I don't think it's that bad. Here's why. First off, there are stars that sort of show you where the platforms are beforehand, before your icon even gets to those structures. And after the first bit, there isn't really that much memorization, as whole structures appear instead of just individual pillars one at a time. And also, it syncs really well and is really satisfying to watch. That last part doesn't have anything to do with the gameplay, I just kind of like it. Pretty much just like every other memorization in a RobTop level, it pretty much just sticks in your head. Like, as a Geometry Dash player in general, most people remember just how to do the RobTop levels. Maybe with the exception of Deadlocked, because Deadlocked is just an abomination. But yeah, anyways, after the memory part, there's a little bit of an issue with, I guess, just these sort of green trigger things that you have to hit, because they're a little annoying, but honestly, it's really not that bad, at least in my opinion. Overall, I think the gameplay does a pretty good job of just introducing most of the basic 2.0 features, such as the robot and new blocks, move triggers, and alpha triggers. If I had to change how the level used move triggers, I'd probably change the first ship part so that it wasn't as on-site readable, same as this memory part here, but I think generally it really isn't too bad. So now let's talk about the decoration, because I can understand more of the criticism of the decoration personally. The way I sort of see the first part of this level is it's very much like Super Mario. Or at least that's kind of how it feels like to me. It sort of has like that same just free world vibe. It's a generally very positive level. There's a bit of a part that looks a little bit more like Deadlocked, just some of the brick blocks, Walmart, Rainbow Road, and then after that it's pretty much a similar style until you get to like the last few parts, which I think the decoration really falls off at the last few parts. I'll definitely give it that. Like, first off, why is this water black? Is there lore to this that I'm missing here? Is this RobTop's statement on climate change, or did the monster here just genuinely take a shit? And then the last part just doesn't match the level in any way, so whatever. I think generally I can understand why people wouldn't like the decoration, because I understand like really the colors don't mix well. I just personally think that it works. And also, trying to recreate the Geometrical Dominator style is very difficult because you're very much treading a fine line between something that does look pretty similar but is completely ugly and something that looks good but does not resemble Geometrical Dominator at all. I don't know, I just somehow think that it works. Whereas in Infinite Circles, it definitely does not. Their early 2.0 community didn't really do wonders for how people perceive Geometrical Dominator, did it? Overall, if I was somehow RobTop, I would probably change it so the memory part was at least a little bit more sight readable, because, well, people just complain about it, so might as well change it a little bit. I wouldn't spam water everywhere because it looks really weird. This last part would probably match the more Super Mario / happy theme instead of literally airborne robots with bad. But those are all minor nitpicks that don't really take away too much from the level in my opinion. Ultimately, it really just comes down to whether you like the memory part or not, because other than that, most parts of the level really aren't too horrible. But I'm in no way saying this is the best RobTop level ever. That title goes to and will forever go to Blast Processing for obvious reasons. That being said, technically, this level does play a bit of a role in why early 2.0 levels sucked. See, the thing about Geometrical Dominator is a lot of the smaller details in the level are just more 2.0 effects or more 2.0 blocks, because RobTop really wanted to show off a lot of the new features that he had been adding because he'd just been adding so many of them, which is a lot more prevalent in Deadlock because RobTop actually made the blocks and kind of knows what each one of them is supposed to do, and the community doesn't. When the community tries to make something even remotely close to Geometrical Dominator, it fails horribly. Regardless of what the level would have looked like, some degree of just move trigger abuse would have occurred, because there's just too many new features that are really big new features, and the game is just full of 8-year-olds. So yeah, that's it for today's video. That's me defending Geometrical Dominator. This video is gonna get like 12 views, but I really couldn't care less. Also, please remember, everyone is allowed to have their own opinion. If you hate Geometrical Dominator and you idolize Deadlock, that's fine. I in no way have any beef with you. It is literally just a simple disagreement over a $4 cube game. Whether 2 people or 2 billion people agree with me is not going to affect anything in the community and should be treated as such. That being said, please like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff that everyone tells you to do. And yeah, see you in the next one.